Welcome to This Explainer. I'm honestly super excited to get into this today because we're going to break down the exact step-by-step sequence to build wealth from absolute zero. We've pulled together data and core strategies from some of the absolute best financial minds out there. We're talking The Money Guys Show, Graham Stephan, Mr. Money Mustache. We've synthesized all of that to bring you what is basically a masterclass in wealth creation. So let's just dive right in.
Think about this for a second. If I lost absolutely everything today and had to start from zero, I wouldn't try to get rich quick. No way. I'd follow the exact same 7-step system that has literally created thousands of millionaires. And you know the really surprising part here? Investing isn't even the first step. Seriously, most people try to jump right into the investing phase and then they sit around wondering why they never get wealthy. Today, we're flipping that script entirely.
Because here's the thing. The absolute strongest way to build wealth relies on building robust systems, not chasing flashy stock picks. On one hand, relying on the latest hot stock tip is, well, it's totally unpredictable. It's risky and it completely lacks any real foundation. But on the flip side, building automated systems, that's structured. It's repeatable. It's basically the incredibly fertile soil where lasting wealth actually grows.
All right, let's get into phase one, securing your financial base.
Look, before we can even think about playing offense and actually growing our money, we have to play defense. The sequence here is absolutely crucial, totally mirroring the Money Guy's famous financial order of operations. So, step 1, get control of your money and cover those deductibles. Step 2, build an emergency fund. And step 3, eliminate high-interest debt. You have to kill that debt because it literally acts like quicksand. You simply can't build a financial castle on it.
To put that first step into perspective, check out this staggering number. $18,000. According to financial expert Graham Stephan, the average American bleeds about 18 grand a year on purely non-essential items. That is a massive, massive amount of capital just leaking right out of the system. What it proves is that almost everyone watching this right now has the room to cut back, minimize that spending, and take their cash flow back by force.
So once you've patched up those leaks, we hit step 2, securing 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Now, this reserve absolutely must be fully funded and just sitting there in cash. Why? Well, because life happens, right? The car suddenly breaks down or the roof starts leaking or maybe a job is lost. This cash is your moat. It ensures that life's nasty surprises just kind of bounce off you instead of completely derailing your long-term wealth plan.
Moving on to phase 2, generating your wealth fuel.
Okay, with our defense officially locked in, we can start playing offense. Think of your financial system like a machine. Income, that's the high-octane fuel that actually makes it run. So step 4 is to increase your income based on results, not just hours. Graham Stephan makes this really phenomenal point that to build wealth rapidly, a traditional hourly job is kind of going to hold you back. You really need a career or a business that's tied to the actual value you create, not just the clock you punch. And that leads us right into step 5, creating multiple income streams.
So what do those streams actually look like in the real world? We're talking earned income, dividend income, capital gains, interest income, rental income, royalty income, and of course, side hustles. And get this, data shows the average millionaire leverages more than 3 of these sources simultaneously. It's simple math, really. The more streams you build, the more money you make, and the more insulated you are if one of those streams suddenly dries up.
Which brings us to phase 3, the automated wealth machine.
See, this is where we finally get to talk about investing, but we're doing it entirely on autopilot. Step 6 is to invest automatically, and step 7 is to let compound interest do the heavy lifting. Personal finance expert Ramit Sethi is huge on this. He advocates for making your money responsibilities practically invisible. The real magic here is that once the machine is running itself, you can actually spend extravagantly on the things you truly love without feeling a single ounce of guilt.
Now, the core mechanism driving all this automation is what the Money Guys Show calls your army of dollar bills. By sticking to that financial order of operations we mentioned earlier, you ensure that every single new dollar is deployed to the exact right battlefield. You're basically sending your soldiers straight to the front lines where they can capture the absolute most territory, allowing your money to just multiply exponentially over time.
Think about it like this. The very second your paycheck hits your account, it should instantly splinter off into designated areas. Fixed living expenses, remaining debt elimination, automated investments, and finally, that guilt-free spending. Notice the completely crucial detail here, though. The investing happens immediately. You do not invest what's left after spending. You spend what's left after investing. That's a real game changer.
All right, phase 4, defeating lifestyle inflation.
So your machine is up and running, right?
But now you face this massive, massive psychological threat. Graham Stephan actually has an incredibly strict rule to basically protect you from yourself. It's this. When you make more money, keep your expenses exactly the same and invest the difference immediately. Look, it is so tempting to get a raise and just instantly go lease a nicer car or upgrade your apartment, but that is the exact trap that keeps high earners completely broke.
Let's just imagine for a second you're earning $40,000 a year, and you land this fantastic promotion bumping you up to 60 grand. The real secret to wealth here is not changing a single thing about how you live. Instead, you take that entire $20,000 difference and you route it straight into your investments. Yeah, you might feel like you're living like you're broke for a little while, but behind the scenes, your wealth machine is going into absolute hyperdrive.
Finally, we arrive at Phase 5, the power of discipline.
Listen, a system is really only as good as your ability to stick with it long after that initial excitement fades away. So, Step 8 is applying just raw discipline, and Step 9 is repeating this entire system for 10+ years. Going from zero to true financial security in a single decade, it's mathematically proven. It works. But man, it requires an iron will to guard against your own internal hesitation and all those little excuses your brain is going to invent to try and get you to quit.
The financial blogger Mr. Money Mustache actually has this brilliant, maybe slightly aggressive way of framing this. He realized that the ultimate trap of financial freedom is using it to just avoid doing things you simply don't feel like doing. When your brain starts whining, I don't want to do this, you have to literally yell back at yourself, aha, I just caught myself trying to self-sabotage. You really have to learn to recognize that laziness happening in real time.
You've got to learn to run directly towards, rather than away from, the hard stuff. Actually, scratch that. It's more like realizing that hesitation isn't a red stop sign at all. It's the ultimate life coach pointing exactly to the thing you absolutely must conquer next. Treating your own hesitation as a trigger for immediate action, that is the ultimate cure for all those wussy pants excuses that derail long-term financial success.
So all of this leaves us with one final, very honest question you need to ask yourself. Are you relying on lucky stock picks, or are you building a bulletproof system? Because building wealth from absolute zero, it isn't magic. It's just a sequence. Get control, build the reserve, eliminate the bad debt, increase your income, invest automatically, avoid lifestyle inflation, and repeat the whole shebang. Stop hoping for a quick win, go reevaluate your foundation today, and start building your machine. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.